Welcome to my channel. This is JC Rock and Metal Reviews. My name is John and I have a new album review by Mammoth WVH. But before I begin, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I do rock and metal reviews, rankings, and more. So going into this album, the first thing you have to understand is that this is not a new Van Halen album. It is not a continuation of the band. This is Wolfgang Van Halen's solo album. You know, he recorded everything by himself. He did all the parts, the drums, the vocals, the guitars, and the bass, and all that. And this doesn't sound like the band Van Halen. This is more of a post-grunge 2000s rock album. Some of the songs remind me of bands like Breaking Benjamin or 3 Days Grace. More towards the end of the album, you might hear some songs that sound a lot like Alice in Chains. This is Wolfgang Van Halen's own personal style. He's not trying to continue the Van Halen band style. He's doing his own thing, and you just got to understand that going into this album. So basically, Eddie Van Halen passed away in October 2020. The loss of his father was very, very difficult for him. So he decided to write a few songs as a tribute to his late father. He did release some of these prior to the release of this album, and they were paying tribute to his father. So, for example, the lead single called Distance, you know, that's a really good song. I'll be talking about that later in this review. But like I said, this is not a continuation of the band. Some people could have said that he was capitalizing on his father's death. I don't really think that's the case. He could have easily just went out, held some auditions, put together a band. He could have found some 30-year-old dude who looks like David Lee Roth and just created some 80s Van Halen cover band. But no, he didn't do that. He wanted to do his own thing. It is the type of music that he likes, and that is what he is going with. Another thing that this album reminds me of, talking about the way it started, kind of like the way the Foo Fighters started. You know, not only is there a similarity between the musical styles, but you know, the Foo Fighters was created after the tragic death of Kurt Cobain. You know, the first Foo Fighters album was a solo project. It did evolve into this big rock band that plays arenas, and I think it is very similar. But a lot of songs have been written many years before this album's release. And I think a lot of songs were even completed about 3 years prior to this. But that is not to say that this album could be the start of another big arena rock band like the Foo Fighters or Alter Bridge. It just has that type of sound. So the album is 14 songs long, about an hour long. So I want to talk about a few of the key tracks. I'll give my final thoughts and then I'll give my score. So the first song is called Mr. Ed. It's a very upbeat, hard rock song. A lot of feedback-driven guitar riffs. The vocals are very melodic. Has this pretty cool post-grunge sound, but also at the same time has this arena rock sound. The riff in the intro is very catchy. Pretty good start to this album. The next song is called Horribly Right, and the intro riff is pretty cool. Reminds me of some 90s grunge, maybe something from Alice in Chains or Stone Temple Pilots. Has a pretty cool heavy riff in the intro. When the first verse kicks in, I do get that Stone Temple Pilots feeling. After that, a song Epiphany. It starts out with really cool modern rock bass line. The riffs are a little slower, a little more grungy. And it's just another catchy song. It does have that arena rock feel as well. I like it. Then the album does slow down a bit with the song Resolve. Has a very cool acoustic intro, and it reminds me of something that could have been off the Alice in Chains, Jar of Flies EP, one of those laid-back rockers. And after that, the album really goes into this Alice in Chains mode with the song Circles. But it reminds me of that later period of Alice in Chains. Has a very relaxed, droney type of singing, some pretty cool echo guitar effects. He uses those vocal harmonies, and it almost sounds like they're two people singing. It's a pretty cool song. And another song called The Big Picture. And this one I like a lot. Has a pretty cool intro riff, has a really heavy grunge riff. It's not really too complex. It's very catchy. It does have a modern arena rock sound. I like it a lot. The lead guitar work on this song, as well as the rest of the album, is very good. It's not very flashy, you know, it's not very like, you know, like Van Halen-ish, but it's very melodic and it is very good. Another song that's pretty cool is called Think It Over, and this one has like an 80s, like new wave feel with like a thumping bass in the intro and a riff, more of like a modern rock riff, and this one's a little different. I like this one a lot. The vocal style is a little more catchy in that one. It was pretty cool. Another song called You're to Blame. I really like the intro. Almost reminded me of like Rage Against the Machine in the intro. It's just a little heavier. It's like a little bit more like into like a metal territory in this one, but it's still very good. It's a very good melodic rocker. And as we get to the end, the second to last song is called Stone. And it's just like another one of those like Alice in Chains loving songs. Has those like heavy doomy riffs, like some atmospheric sounds in the background, and like that distinctive like style of singing. And the last song on the album is the one I was just talking about before, called Distance. And this one sounds a little different than the other ones. It's very heartfelt. It's more of a laid-back rocker and has some clean guitars, really nice drum beat. You hear the emotion in the song when he sings the line, no matter what the distance, I'll be with you. You know, you hear that in the chorus. It's a very endearing tribute to his late father. Really nice post-grunge, like modern rock sound. Nice way to close the album. I have another visit by Snowball, who kind of came by. So in conclusion, you know, like I said in the beginning, it's not another Van Halen album. It doesn't sound like anything like the band Van Halen, but if you like rock bands like the Foo Fighters or Alice in Chains, you will definitely like this. You know, it's it does have the potential of being big. You know, if it chooses to go the route of like forming a band and recording new music and touring and doing all that like rock star stuff. It is pretty cool. I enjoyed it a lot. I give it an 8 out of 10. It's just a nice collection of hard rock songs. You just got to go with this album, you know, as it is, like a completely like different band by someone who just happens to be like rock and roll royalty. I definitely enjoyed this, so I definitely recommend it. So, thanks for watching, and comment below. Let me know what you thought of the album. Have you heard it already, or have you heard any of the singles? Let me know what you thought. You know, coming up this weekend, I got some new releases. I'll be doing an album by the band Green Jelly, and they have a new album. It's like the first one in like 25 years or something like that. There's a new project with Max Cavalera and his son, and if you're a fan of Sepultura, you'll probably like that one. And the band Garbage has something new out, which I haven't listened to yet, but I will give that a listen, and I might do that one at the beginning of the week. So, thanks for watching. Check out the in-video links. I'll see you in the next one.